Well, all right. This time we're doing something a little different. So after broiling my brains out in Arizona, I came back to Southern California desert where I'm just broiling my brains out in a different zip code. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try and beat the heat. This is Rad Brad, my brother. Woo! He hasn't been on a trip or anywhere since like summer of 2019, so it is high time he got to skedaddle out of his little hobbit hole here and go for a little cruise. So we are gonna go. He is into ghosts and ghost towns and westerns and stuff like that. What's your favorite movie?
Tombstone, Young Guns,
Yeah.
Ranger.
Good movies. So we're gonna hit the Eastern Sierra a little bit. We're gonna hit the Museum of Western Film History in Lone Pine, which I've never been to, although I've been to Lone Pine a ton. And we're gonna take him to Manzanar National Historic Site to visit that. Not necessarily a ghost town in every sense of the word, but certainly a little bit ghostly. And then we're gonna go to Lake Isabella for a couple of days and see another ghost town that he found called Silver City, right? Yeah, hang out on the Kern River at Sequoia Lodge. And then we're gonna make our way over to northwest of Bakersfield to Colonel Allensworth State Historic Park, which was the first Black-owned and administered town in California. So this will be a little bit different trip for me because I don't typically go to like historic places and document those as much as I do our regular types of public lands or more traditional types of public lands. So this will be fun for both of us. I'm super stoked to get us out of here. It's starting to warm up down here already. We need to get high in altitude. All right, our first stop. Whew, dang, I only came in here because I live at the cheapest gas prices around. The high desert truck stop. This place is the jankiest shithole I have been in a long time. We've been sitting here like, I don't know, I started this probably 5, 6, 7 minutes ago. Look how slow this thing is. It hasn't even got to $20 yet. I started it, I went in, I went to the bathroom. I could have taken a damn bath. And most of the pumps are jacked in some way. That one over there, wow, the camper's about to go in front of it. Somebody ran into it, so they built out a particle board block for it. And this pump taped, half the pumps taped. There's a sleeping guy over there. Oh my God, definitely would never come here again. Unless they had the cheapest gas prices, but only if I felt like checking in and moving in here. I prepaid $50 because I was like quarter tank, so I'm sure it'll take it. But yeah, like it's been almost 10 minutes and I haven't even got $6 or 6 gallons worth of gas in this van yet. This is just dumb. Like how huge my steering wheel looks in this video. I've never done this before. Anyway, we just had a great lunch at the Roadhouse in Kramer Junction. About to go to the Astro Burger, but it looks like it's closed. I don't know, there's no cars parked at it. That's such a bummer because the Astro Burger was like, just like a sort of iconic spot at Kramer Junction, which otherwise is pretty much just the junction between Highway 395 and Highway 58 going towards Tehachapi and whatnot. Anyway, back on the road is steaming out here. Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler in Lone Pine when we get there. If not, I guess we just like dive face first into an air-conditioned room and think about our choices. Okay. We are at the Eastern Sierra Interagency Visitor Center. Yay, this is one of my favorite spots. I'm already prepared. I always lose money here on books. I have a whole bunch of Eastern Sierra books and I have no idea where they are. I thought I left them with my best friend in San Diego, but apparently I forgot. So I have a great book called A Guide to 395. It's an old book. I think she like wrote it in the 80s or something, but it's full of great information about the history of the Eastern Sierra, which has not changed except for it's been added on to. And I'm waiting for my brother to come out of the bathroom. So it is hot down here. Even in Lone Pine, it's hot. Yikes. We're gonna be, I think, running from AC to AC around here to try and keep them cool. The front vents in my van are not blowing right now, unfortunately. That's inconvenient. So it's a little toasty in there. The cold air only comes out at your feet, and then like in the window where it just immediately gets hot again because the sun is burning the life and chill out of it. But oh, look at the mountains. I have missed these mountains so much. I haven't been here since I last picked up Nightcrawler from, you know, his hobo spot in Pearsonville at the beginning of 2019. Let's see what's changed. Here he comes. Yee yee. Hey, buddy. All right, day 2 of road tripping with Rad Brad in the Eastern Sierra. We are in the Alabama Hills National Recreation Area. Oh my goodness, I haven't been here since I was here with Nightcrawler a couple years ago. And we took pictures in front of this same rock, which is an awesome rock. We got Mount Whitney up there, looking cool. We might have to bail up there to get to some cooler weather a little bit later this afternoon. It's supposed to be 105 today. Ugh. I know, awful. But otherwise, we're having a blast out here, just exploring. And I do love this area because y'all know I love the rocks. And look at, bam, rocks. Everywhere. Just love this area. We're gonna go do some looking for some movie sites. So many movies, mostly Westerns, have been shot in the Alabama Hills. So we're gonna go see if we can find a couple of those spaces. And then we're gonna head on up to Manzanar, try and get that visited before it gets just too crazy hot out here. All right, so we are visiting Manzanar National Historic Site. I haven't been here in a long time. They've really done it up. I mean, there are audio tours all along the self-guided driving tour, which is what we're doing. So we got here right at 9, but the visitor center doesn't open until 11. So we're doing the driving tour, and this is building Barracks 14. You get to come in and check it out. You can see how, you know, the prisoners that were sent here from their homes and lives all around the country. This was just one of many, many, many relocation centers, which is a euphemism for prison, where we sent Japanese Americans after the bombing of Pearl Harbor in World War II. But oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. But the National Park Service has done a fantastic job of really doing interpretive work at this site. So pretty cool. We're gonna keep moving around. At least it's a little bit of a breeze in here. It's not horribly hot yet. Now we're in the schoolhouse at Manzanar, complete with chalkboard and everything. I mean, this place is just like, you could easily spend an entire day here if you cared to read through everything, and especially go through all the audio tour things. There are videos to help try and bring, you know, just essentially the horror of what happened here to life. Just like documents everywhere. I mean, like virtually every surface is covered with interpretive signage and information. You have your view of the Sierra out back. This is a really, like, they've done a ton of work since I came here last to really just bring so much more information to life. Oh my goodness. Some poor kids had to like actually graduate from school and prison school, essentially. Lame. We're at the cemetery and monument at Manzanar. This place always kind of gets me choked up, thinking about all the people who were imprisoned here and thought of these mountains that I love so much as basically prison walls. And not at all something that was enjoyable. Sure, the mountains are beautiful, but they were here, they couldn't leave. We can come and recreate whenever we want. And as you can see, obviously, some people never left here. All right, well, we had a successful jaunt to Manzanar National Historic Center, and then it was starting to warm up pretty good, so we came back to the room to have lunch, cool off a bit. The plan was this afternoon to head on up to Whitney Portal, but unfortunately, you can actually see flame. I don't know if it's closed off the road, but probably. This is just devastating. Arizona's burning. That is definitely not a prescribed burn. I can actually see flame. Terrible. Look at that. I guess I'm zoomed in as much as I can be, but that's a big ass fire. Probably we're not going to get to go up the mountain today. I'm so bummed. Man, it is making it hard to do a trip with my brother, but on the other hand, you know, it is nice to just get to hang out together, even though we are hiding out from the heat in our little room here at the Portal Motel. Just heartbreaking. Like I said before, this is going to be a horrible fire season across the West. Stay safe, my friends. Just say no to campfires. Well, this sucks. There's a water carrier. Apparently, this is called the Inyo Creek Fire. In your face. Oh my God. I guess it started yesterday evening, and it was only 1 acre, but because it's in a sort of remote and difficult to access part of the forest, they're having a hard time getting to it to fight it, although I guess air strikes, or there's been air water drops on the fire. I called the store, and I actually got somebody at the hostel up there at Whitney Portal. She said the hostel is open, but to her knowledge, the store is closed. So I guess we're not going up there, which probably would have been a bad idea anyway, just because, like, you know, we do not need to be in the way of fire personnel. And we have seen plenty of fire vehicles today in between this fire. Maybe, I don't know if they were even going towards this fire and the one in the Alabama Hills area at Hogback Road and Whitney Portal Road. So, God, just a devastating weekend here in the Lone Pine Mount Whitney region. Bad, bad news. All right, so our plans to go up the mountain and check out the Whitney Portal thwarted. Too bad. Hey guys, good. How y'all doing? Right on. Because fire, these guys are helping, I'm sure. Hey, how's it going? Right on. Actually, we're gonna go eat. Thanks. Enjoy. Have a good night. So we're gonna hit the smokehouse, and ironically, it is like 12 degrees hotter here in Lone Pine than it was where we came from. What the? And we even came up like 2,500 feet in elevation. Whatever. But we're having fun. He's been kicking my ass at some games. He's very pleased about this. Notice the shit-eating grin.
Somebody owes me 120 credits, but, you know.
Nobody understands what I gotta put up with. Anyway, I'm gonna let him buy me dinner with all his Monopoly riches. We're out. All right, day 3 of road tripping with Rad Brad. We just had breakfast at the grill in Lone Pine. Pretty dang good food. It's also a nice open airy space. And we never did make it up the mountain because it was on fire. This morning I could see where they had dropped retardant on it. It's part of the mountain's red now, but at least it's not red with flames. At any rate, we are going to hit up the Museum of Western Film History now. Should be interesting. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. All right, so this place looks pretty cool. We came in, but she said that there's a little movie starting in a couple of minutes. It's like 15 minutes, so we're gonna check it out. Haven't been in a theater in forever. continuing our wander around the Museum of, I thought it was Western film history, but apparently there are all kinds of movies filmed here. I did know about Tremors. I didn't know there were some scenes from Gladiator, Iron Man, Star Trek, possibly Return of the Jedi. A bunch. Obviously they specialize mostly in like the old westerns, the original western genre, but man, this is a really, really cool place. They request a donation of $5, which is actually fairly well worth it. There's a free film about 15 minutes long that explains the history of film in the Lone Pine area in the Alabama Hills. They even have an area or a section for public lands and stewardship in the Alabama Hills, which obviously I think is awesome. And what's up, Bogey? Got a bogey at 1 o'clock. All right, that's a pretty cool stop there at the Lone Pine Museum of Western Film History. What do you think, Rad Brad?
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, what's your favorite part?
The Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger.
And the Iron Man.
And the Iron Man, yeah, definitely. Definitely gonna check it out. I've been through Lone Pine a zillion times and I've never made it to this place, but it is definitely worthwhile. Especially today, so at least get out of the heat. But if you're a movie fan, very cool stop. Next stop, we're gonna get to someplace hopefully cooler than here. We're gonna head for the river. All right, well, we are cruising. We're on Highway 178 going towards Lake Isabella. Guess where we're at? Walker Pass. Been here. How many times have I been here now? A lot. Anyway, Brad's never been here. So, he's got this all-wheel drive roller, which is super convenient because he wanted to stop and take a picture of the PCT, which I am wholly in support of. They have a new BLM sign here. Nice! So I run up there and take a picture of that sign for him because I don't think the rollator is going up there. But yeah, PCT, man, I miss this trail. Kind of feel like hiking it again. All right, we made it to our new digs in Kernville. This is the Sequoia Lodge, a place I would never be able to stay on my own, but hey, we're vacationing with Rad Brad, also known as the creepy guy. Yep. What do you think, buddy?
Awesome.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Not too shabby. It backs right up.
You guys call me the ghostly guy too.
They do. They call you all kinds of things, but we won't talk about all that unless it comes up. Anyway, it backs up to the Kern River. There's some stairs to negotiate, a little bit of sand, but with a helping shoulder, I think we can get Rad Brad down to the water a little bit later when it starts to cool down a bit. It is hot here as well, but it's definitely cooler than it was in Lone Pine. I mean, I sure wouldn't mind being next door where they have a swimming pool. I could just chuck them right in that, but yeah. We'll live. We will survive. Oh my gosh, it is just awesome down here on the Kern River on the backside of Sequoia Lodge, but the Kern River being public waters. Nice. There are all kinds of people in the water. Seeing tubers go by. This water is like, oh, it is so nice. Not nearly as freezing as all the waters we tried to get into in Arizona and, you know, virtually any place else. Once you get up into the Sierras, all cold. This is magical. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to go for a dip in this tomorrow. Nice views too. Alright, you know how I love the Pokey Mountains? Got them right outside. Yeah. All right, day 4 of road tripping with Rad Brad. I am at the Kern River Ranger Station on the Sequoia National Forest. Their visitor center is open Wednesday through Saturday. The Ranger District is open Monday through Friday. They're actually allowing people indoors now. That's fantastic. 8:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. I came here because the place that we're staying doesn't really have good accessible access for my brother to get down to the water. So I wanted to come and ask about places that we could go in the forest that had access to water. They say that they can't recommend that you go into the Kern River right now. Not sure why that is. So they can only recommend that you go into Lake Isabella. But unfortunately, right now, Lake Isabella is suffering from an algal bloom. And so that makes the waters, kind of gnarly and not necessarily pleasant to hang out in. So I found some picnic sites with day use areas that have that are on the water. They just can't tell you to oh yeah, jump right in. So anyway, I picked up a map of this forest. It was printed in 2011, but I am told that the forest has not changed much in 10 years, but hey, you know how that goes. I found out on the CDT that that's not always necessarily the case, but it is nice to have the big map to spread out so we can find some cool places to go today after we hit breakfast. Breakfast is first. And then Silver City Ghost Town. Woo! All right, well, it's a little as 10:30 on Tuesday. We're at the Silver City Ghost Town, which appears to be not open, even though their recording says they're open at 10 o'clock every day. But as you can see, they're shut. That's inconvenient, so I guess we'll try and figure out something else to do. This place was the entire reason we're in the area, because we really wanted to come and see it. I guess I'll try and keep calling, and maybe we can come back later or tomorrow. Very annoying. Yes, and I'm at Riverview Park, which I believe is a Kernville City Park. It's nice. It's at the corner of State Highway 155 and Kernville Road, and I don't know, it's basically one of the major intersections here. And the town is not that big. At any rate, we went and did some recon trying to find a place where Rad Brad could hang out in the shade, maybe get into the water. Glad I checked, because I have to do all these things before getting him out of the vehicle, because I'm gonna move the van to get him a little closer. All right, take 2, attempt 2 at Silver City Ghost Town, which is entirely unreachable. I get the paparazzi up. Technology is weird, man. Anyway, now they're open. We came back just by chance. We had lunch at Nelda's. Oh my God, that place has a giant shake menu. So many choices, and now we are so full of junk food. Anyway, we're gonna try and run around this place now. He got jokes. He's very funny. Let's go see what this is about. Yeah, so there's 21 different buildings out in the back of the ghost town. This is the general store. Not an extremely general store. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that this place was super. At least there's ramps through this part, but I wouldn't say otherwise that it was particularly accessible. I mean, we got this janky ass thing, rotted out boards, holy moly. But so far, nobody's died, nobody's got hurt yet. Now we do get to go into the jail, so that's exciting. Oh, there's even a piss pot on the floor. Nice. He is totally digging this joint. It is so fun. Yeah. Really enjoys creepy shit.
I'm taking a video again.
All right, we left the Kern River Valley. And this is day 5 of road tripping with Rad Brad. We decided to come out to the Trail of 100 Giants, which is actually finally an accessible trail. So we got the roller out and in effect. We're gonna go find some big trees. It's nice and cool up here. Thank goodness. So this is the Trail of 100 Giants. There's one. Oh my gosh, that is a enormous tree. Oh my goodness, it's the proclamation tree. I mean, you couldn't even fit this in a 0.5s, like reverse zoom. I don't know what you call those things, but holy moly. And look at these. And they just stand out as red, red, red. Got our sugar pine trees out here. They have helpful maps. It costs $10 to park in the lot. Your America the Beautiful pass unfortunately does not count. However, since they're doing an awful lot to keep this place nice and accessible and easy to get to and whatnot, good facilities, I don't mind paying the $10. Look at these things. Oh my goodness. Wow. What do you think, buddy?
You're good.
That tree makes you look pretty small.
Aren't they all?
Well, not all of them. Not that guy. Well, less than 10 minutes later, we're out. Apparently, gigantic trees is not as an attractive place to visit as ghost towns. So, moving on, we are headed towards Allensworth State Historic Park, which is a little bit northwest of Bakersfield. Man, I'm having a hard time leaving here though because it's nice and cool up here. There's shade, it's beautiful, and I know that where we're going, we have none of those. But off we go. All right, we are at the Colonel Allensworth State Historic Park near Early Mart and Pixley National Wildlife Refuge. Actually, this is a pretty well done place. They're doing a really great job of keeping it maintained. They have an auto tour. Unfortunately, the QR code at the front didn't work. So I guess at each building they have a post that has the information that you dial, so you can actually pick up the information from each particular building as you go through the tour. However, we got lucky. We ran into a ranger and she gave us the lowdown on the schoolhouse building, which was apparently the upgraded schoolhouse. The first schoolhouse is down the road a little bit. We'll go by there in a minute, but she gave us a great informational tour about this particular building. Now we're just going to drive around and see what's up. So continuing our tour of the Colonel Allensworth State Historic Park. He was also a reverend. This is the church, the First Baptist Church that was one of the central parts of the community when it was, thriving, when it was surviving. And oh my gosh, we had an incredible experience with one of the rangers here, Angel, who actually came out looking for us because his coworker told him that that Brad here is interested in sort of ghost hunting and things like that. I don't really like to call it ghost hunting because it implies that you're trying to do something not very nice with ghosts, but you know what I mean. Anyway, he had a ton of stories to share. Also told us like the ideal time to return and that sometimes they do evening tours here, or at least they used to before the pandemic. hopefully they'll start those up again, because I think that would be incredibly interesting. But you know, they have done a really great job maintaining and keeping up the structures here in this park. And when I say them, it sounds like it's mostly been Angel and maybe one other person. So, you know, thanks for all you do to keep this place intact, because this is an important part of our history and really a really worthwhile place to come and visit. Learn a little bit about California history and the history, basically the Black experience, even here in California, allegedly liberal California. All right, we got a dust devil. Angel, the guy that was helping us out, he's driving the water truck around. He just like drove right through that dust devil, like, nah, it's cool, no problem. This is the hotel that was present, and then across the street we have what was the store, and that's Mrs. Smith's house, and then there's the barber shop, and then down there I believe was another store. They had a couple of stores here. That's cool. But woof, it's warm. What do you think, Bud? How are you enjoying Allentown?
Great. It was named after me.
Oh, yes.
My middle name's Allen.
I remember. Yeah, it's just very close. I'm very close. They knew you were coming. Okay. Let's go check it out. Okay, so this was an awesome spot. Even though it's hot out here, it's not as hot as it has been. I'm really glad we came. A lot of history here. Important stuff. This is a really cool place, and California State Parks has done a fantastic job with the maintenance and upkeep of this particular historical site. Colonel Allensworth State Historic Park is the only town in California founded, funded, and governed by African Americans. And I believe that it was basically remained until around 1972, when I think it was economic hardships basically resulted in the town mainly being abandoned. And but there is still an Allensworth. It's just a little bit south of here, I believe. That was the bakery. I mean, they just have done a really spectacular job. And if you look at the windows of these buildings, you know, they have period items in all the places. You can actually camp here too. So I think camping is $20 a night. They have covered areas for each campsite. But other than that, it's pretty much out and exposed. So definitely someplace you'd prefer to camp during the cooler season. Anyway, great stop here at Colonel Allensworth State Historic Park.